and welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. And it's finally time for the next trial to figure out who killed Sakura. Wow, this room is really desolate, huh? Monokuma made his announcement and everyone began to meet up, one after another. And then... hello. The ultimate martial artist! A locked room murder mystery! What's with the emoticons?
What?
What the? Oh, I've just recently discovered the power of emoticons! Like, no matter how awful something is, if you toss in a smiley face, it turns positive.
Yes, indeed!
For example, you're at a picnic and you find a dead body. I don't think that's how that works. This is just plain creepy.
Well?
And how about the reverse? No matter how great something is, if you put a sad face, it makes it look super negative.
Yes, indeed!
For example, do you have 100 friends? He's right, that does make it seem sad.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Now then, please get on the elevator. I'll see you all down there. Kirby dance. What the hell was that? I don't get it.
Just the worst.
I don't get you guys. How can you act so casual after murdering someone?
Don't look at
I
me!
don't think I'm acting casual. Yeah, Hero's just acting like himself.
Don't be mean!
I mean, I didn't murder anyone. Yeah, I'm completely innocent. How dare you call me a murderer?
What the heck?
Whatever. Either way, the truth will be revealed soon enough. Because there can be no doubt one of us is the culprit. The killer, the one that murdered Sakura. She was stronger than anyone I know. And yet someone killed her. And that person is here? That person is one of us? It does seem a little bit strange, doesn't it? Come on, it's time to put an end to this. I made my way towards the elevator. With each step I took, I felt like I was moving further and further away from my goal. I could feel a chilling fear running through me, trying to make me rot from the inside out. No matter how many times I go through this, it never gets any easier. We climbed into our steel prison in total silence. We watched the doors close and felt it begin its sinister descent. The elevator lowered, uttering its all too familiar clunking sounds. It fell lower and lower, and as suddenly as always, the ride was over. The doors opened once again. Just the 6 of you, huh? Really? That's so few. You must be so lonely. You say that like it's not your fault that we're all that's left. I wonder, will the class trial end with one less castmate again, or will your school life come to an end completely?
Now then,
are we ready to begin? You know the drill. Find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened for the 4th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, deadly riddle, deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yes, you say this every single time. Yes, I want to save. In the last slot that I can save in until I have to start doing overwrites. Set skills. Yes, I do want to set skills. So I already have the Lost in Thought. Increases time limit for each phase. Menacing focus increases the focus gauge. I don't care about that this trial because I'm trying to go for the achievement for not using the focus gauge. Steadies your aim a little. Yes, I do want to use this. So I'm going to need it since I'm not going to have the concentration on. Increases damage to an opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during the bullet time battle. Vocabulary increases bullet capacity. Effective during bullet time battle. Cost 4. Do I want that one? Might as well. Leaving you with a space for one more, but I don't think I can carry anything else. Yeah, I can't. Okay, cool. So, let's back out and finish preparations. Let's go. Here we go, trial number 4.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial.
Been through this 4 times already.
Your votes will determine the results.
Well, 3 times. This is the 4th.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, where to begin?
We already know who did it.
Oh, right. You're still accusing them.
Whoa! Deja vu!
Oh, yeah. This is deja vu from an earlier
The
case,
one who
isn't
killed
it?
Sakura is one of the people that hated her. Byakuya, Toko, or Hiro. It was one of you.
Idiot.
I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah! I'd never kill someone, no way!
I believe that.
I don't want to hear your stupid excuses.
Nina seems really sure that one of those 3 is the killer. But she must have some reason for believing that. Yeah, let's hear what she has to say. What bullets do we have this time? And right, do not touch the space bar. In fact, I'm just not going to touch it at all. I don't even need my left hand.
It was one of you. One of you killed Sakura.
And what reason do you have for saying so?
Ali's account.
Because you all had a motive.
What was her account
You
again?
hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's
Ooh,
low.
I got
That's
color.
about as low as you
I
can
got the
get.
color television achievement, which is for destroying the white lines. But that's what distracted me from everything else. Some concrete reason. She mentioned it before.
It was one of you.
Well,
One of you killed Sakura.
And what
I
reason do you...
need the
Because
control,
you
I guess.
hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any...
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low. That's about as low as you can get.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna be hard without being able to use the focus gauge.
It was one of you. One of you.
And what reason do you have...
Because you all had. You hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
That's low.
Come on.
That's about as low as you can get. It was one of you. One of you.
And what reason do you...
Because you hated her.
Is that it? That doesn't make any sense.
That's the only reason you have her accusing us?
There we go. Finally.
No, that's wrong.
This is gonna be a tough one, not being able to use the concentration gauge.
Another reason you suspect them is because Sakura wanted to meet with them, right?
Right.
Yeah, and that was right before she died. So there's no doubt about it. One of those 3 killed her.
Can't disagree with Tina. There's good reason to suspect all 3 of them. But does that mean one of them didn't? I guess let's find out. I'm uncertain myself. Because of the whole locked room thing. Pocket trash that we got from Hero, right?
The fact that Sakura wanted to meet with all 3 of them,
So Hero's probably gonna be
there's
like,
no
I
way
didn't
that's
see
not
her.
suspicious. One of you is absolutely guilty.
I don't deny that she wanted to meet with us, but I never went to see her.
Okay.
I didn't either.
Yeah, same here. I never saw...
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
Lies.
Hiro, when we were talking before, you dropped a small piece of paper, remember? It was white with red polka dots.
What's that got to do with anything?
It's the candy
Red
wrapper.
polka dots? That's gotta be the wrapper from the candy I gave Sakura.
No, it's...
That's like your corner, Hero.
Ever since we got into the warehouse, I totally monopolized that entire box of candy. So there's no way a single one of them was left in the warehouse.
Still don't see why you felt the need to bring a whole box of candy back to your room.
In that case, Hiro, where did you get that piece of candy?
From Sakura! It's the only explanation.
True.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure I got it from her, but she gave it to me forever ago. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to her.
Forever ago.
When? When did she give it to you?
The last time you saw Sakura was when Hina had to go to the nurse's office, right?
Yeah, so I must have got it sometime before then.
Sometime before then, huh? But what Hiro said can't be right, because Sakura could only have gotten the candy after the incident in the nurse's office. The reason I know that is because Sakura loved the candy too much to share. Hiro got the candy from Hina when Sakura got that candy.
I got
Okay,
it!
go.
I'm not sure about that, Hiro. Hina didn't actually give Sakura the candy till after she left the nurse's office.
Exactly.
So if that was the last time you saw her, there's no reason you should have had that candy.
Exactly.
Damn it!
Exactly. Corner.
I mean, what I meant was,
Let's come clean, Hiro.
oh, that's right! I did meet up with her in the rec room. You got a problem with that?
Why the sudden hostility?
But we just talked, that's all. I didn't do anything, you gotta believe me.
You didn't do anything?
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
I agree.
You're acting incredibly suspicious.
More hostility.
It's not just normal hostility. You're the real culprit. I even have proof.
Really?
Proof? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about her shining message.
Oh, that... What would a shining message even be? It means dying message.
At the scene of the crime, she had written out Toko in her own blood, right?
Ah, so you saw that.
It was her dying message. Just like what you guys were talking about with Sayaka.
I have doubts about
That's
that.
true. I saw it for myself.
Everybody saw it?
See? See? Toko did it!
What are you saying? No way! I didn't do it!
You just don't know when you're beat, do you?
Hiro, hold on. When did you see that dying message of hers?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Huh? Well, when we found Ogre's body. Duh.
Huh?
But if you recall, Hina was very adamant about keeping you away from the scene of the crime.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's hard to believe that's when you actually saw the message for yourself.
Huh, hold on. So when Kyoko found the magazine with the dying message, it was on the magazine shelf.
I got it! Kyoko, you found the magazine on the magazine shelf, right?
That's right. Looking through the shelf, I found the magazine with the dying message on it. I found it right there at the scene of the crime, after we'd started the investigation.
Right, which means, Hiro, you could
If
not have
that's
seen
true, then what Hiro just said doesn't really make sense, does it?
Doesn't make sense?
it. No, it doesn't.
What doesn't make sense? Everything I said makes perfect sense.
No, it doesn't, you blockhead. There's definitely something strange about it. Kyoko found the dying message during the investigation, in which case, that clearly contradicts what Hiro told us. Okay, what do I have to work with? Can I have more than one bullet this time? No? Okay, fine.
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
And I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation had begun.
That's a true
I
statement.
found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf. When I pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense.
Okay, so we have to shoot what he said, I think. He said he saw the dying message when he first found the body, but at that time, where was the magazine?
I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
Oh, wait, no. I got
And
it.
I can tell you when I found the dying message. It was only after the investigation
Hold on,
had
do I
begun.
have to copy?
I found the magazine tucked away on the magazine shelf.
Do I have to copy
When I
that?
pulled it out, I saw her final words.
What's your problem? What I said makes total sense. I can tell you exactly when I found the dying message. When Ogre's body was discovered.
There we go, nice.
No, that's wrong.
Good instance.
When Sakura's body was found, that magazine was sitting on the shelf nearby. That's where Kyoko found it, after we'd begun the investigation.
Exactly.
And you weren't at the murder scene, so there's no way you could have seen it then.
Gotcha.
Tell us the truth, Hero. When did you see the message?
Yeah, we won't be mad.
Hold on! You're focusing on the wrong part! Why does it matter when I saw it?
Huh?
All you gotta do is read the Vienna sausage Ogre left us, and we know who the killer is!
Vienna
Toko!
sausage? What?
I don't even know where to begin with that one.
Me neither. What?
He's just trying to confuse us.
And he has confused me. What?
Actually, can we even be sure Sakura wrote that message in the first place?
Ooh, good point.
Yeah? I think we can all agree Ogre wrote that message. 100%, without a doubt, she wrote it! And this is me talking, so you know it's true!
Says the person with the 20% accuracy rate on his fortune-telling readings. I don't trust you. Without a doubt. No, I absolutely do doubt it. There's no way Sakura wrote that message. What do we have? Hangman's Gambit? No. Oh, we're doing this. Okay, cool.
Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right.
Alright, it's a tab key to reload.
The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. The end is nigh. Show me the proof. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap. Give it a rest. I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap.
My god.
The end is nigh! I'm at least 30% right. The occult is bullcrap.
Okay.
Show me the proof.
Kyoko's
prove
examination
it.
summary. Okay, I hate the negative thing that the enemies can do to you because it just throws me off completely. Listening to the music doesn't
I'm
always help.
completely unconvinced that Sakura wrote that dying message. Because if you look at it, the message was almost certainly written using a finger. Both of her hands were completely free of blood.
Exactly.
Say what?
Then, who did write it?
Hiro could very well have written it himself.
I doubt that. We all know that Hiro has, like, pristine calligraphy.
That would
skills.
explain how he knew about the message in the first place.
True, but again, his handwriting is, like, amazing, out of this world, you know.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Don't agree to the lies, Hiro. We know you didn't do it. You wouldn't
he
risk
admits it.
writing sloppy to save your own life.
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
He didn't. He didn't.
Because I killed her!
Yep, and now I'm even more convinced that you didn't do it.
Please, just let me explain what happened.
Fine.
I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
Okay.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
And when I got there,
Jackie may be a jerk, but he makes me laugh. Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? It might help give you some energy. Oh, sure, thanks.
and that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence.
Okay.
Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm going to end it today. I'm going to end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew! I knew she was gonna try and kill me!
Pretty sure she could have done it as soon as you walked in the room if she had any intention to kill you.
She was gonna kill me and make her escape! So of course I freaked out, and then
And then what?
I
Oh,
saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head.
wow.
I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening.
That was highlighted.
Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that. Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I was suspicious. You left out a crucial
Can't believe
detail.
you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast
Nope,
me.
you said
boil
something
me,
that was
do
very
whatever you
suspicious
want.
just now. No,
You're
we're not,
gonna get off that
done
easy.
yet.
It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura.
We know that, Hina, but he's lying.
We're ready to vote now, right?
No,
We know who did it.
no.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
Thank you, Kyoko.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
He left out a crucial detail when telling his little story.
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain.
Oh,
And
yeah.
until we figure that part out, we can't consider
and
the case
locked room
closed.
thing too, but that's not what I was thinking. That was suspicious, but yeah, she is completely correct. To be what he did, what he would have had to do after writing the message, it doesn't make sense. Why the magazine was? No, that can't be it. Why he picked Toko? Oh, cool. Never mind. Well, that's wrong. Anyways, that's not the
Shoot.
point I was trying to make. My health bar is so low. Toko, there's something that doesn't make sense. Why he didn't use Sakura's finger? Okay, that's wrong too. Okay, I should have gone with my first instinct, which is why the magazine was hidden. Oh, right, if he wanted us to know it was... Duh, if he wanted us to know it was Toko, why did he hide the magazine? Okay, I got it, eventually. Duh, obvious answer number one.
I got it!
At least you gain
That's
health
true.
back for answering things
Everything you
correctly.
just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, that he didn't hide the magazine. He didn't say that he hid the magazine. So I should have just gone with my first instinct and I wouldn't have lost
By
all
the
that
time the
health.
body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Exactly.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, and your story just crumbled in on.
I
so-
didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be
He
lying!
might be telling the truth about that, but I don't know.
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Then he's not lying?
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf.
Is you, wasn't it?
In other words, at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the
I don't know.
incident.
I'm just suspicious of Byakuya.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Oh yeah, and we did find handprints inside of the locker too. So whose handprints were those?
Who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Oh, Toko. The only choice is Toko.
I got it! It had to be Toko, right? Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Exactly.
Is he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room?
Yep, she was there.
Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter! We already know who did it, right?
No,
Hiro just admitted
he's
it!
lying and he's an idiot.
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
Exactly. We still have all this
What
evidence.
do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
Exactly.
You can't be serious! That's just... I don't
The case is never
believe
over
it.
until we've used every single last scrap of evidence,
Hiro,
and we haven't yet.
Tell us what happened one more time.
Okay, here we go.
If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Tell that lame story you just said again.
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
Okay. We haven't reached the end of the case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer, and I have to prove that. So let's do it. Do I have multiple truth bullets now, please? Yes, finally. Okay, the status of Sakura's body is
I
definitely
didn't
the
want
clue
to,
I
but
need.
I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once. After the first swing, the bottle shattered, and she went limp.
See? Isn't it obvious? Hero really is the killer!
Okay, so status of Sakura's body, we were told that she was hit twice. So what do I shoot exactly?
I didn't want to, but
I'm on a thread
I
here
did
because
it.
my health is low.
I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once.
Ah. What's wrong? Did I say something weird? I guess not.
Shoot!
Oh, I make one more mistake. No, two more mistakes and I'm dead in the water.
I didn't want to, but
Ugh.
I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby,
Maybe this is what
and I
need
hit
then?
Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once.
Okay, there we go.
No, that's wrong.
This one's a dicey one. I'm not allowed to use the concentration meter. And
If
it's messing
Sakura
me up
died
so
from
bad.
Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
2?
Yep,
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
yep.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe
As
her.
a hound. Oh
But
my god.
I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Yep, we determined that.
Hold on! How can you know that just from some cuts on her head?
We have the evidence
She
for
was
that.
attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
Yes.
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma
Right.
bottles
There
themselves.
should have been 6, there were only 4, and the broken pieces that we collected weighed.
There's something very suspicious about those bottles. Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma
Okay, now
bottles
we're getting
must have
into
been
the meat of
used.
this. Finally. Still believe
back.
Hero's not the one who did it.
After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right?
Correct.
And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
Most likely because he's too stupid to think to clean up the mess himself before running.
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
So I wonder where they put the broken pieces, because I didn't see a trash can in that
But
room.
how can you know for sure there were 6 bottles?
Because it makes sense.
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
Correlation between the Monokuma bottles, I feel like it's starting to become clear. The connection must be it's the object that the Monokuma figure inside each bottle is holding. Right, the chess pieces, which I talked about before. Oh, hey, it's Hangman's Gambit. Let's do this. Chess pieces, right? Yeah, I got it. Chess, C. There it is. Chess pieces, P. There we go. Chess piece. Nice.
Now I understand.
Can I gain health back though, please? 'Cause I noticed that it's
That's
not
it.
filling my
The
health
chess
gain.
pieces.
Yeah.
Inside each bottle, there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
Yeah.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
Yep. The queen and the what other piece is missing? Oh, the knight. Right, and the knight is the one we found, if I remember correctly.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was The knight, if I remember.
Right. Yeah, so the queen is missing.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about chess, do you? Then let me explain. In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn.
Exactly.
What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4.
We found the knight, but no queen.
And on the ground was the knight.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
Yep.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while one apparently went missing.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
What is shogi? Second time it's been brought up.
No,
Because
that's not
Celeste
what I mean.
mentioned it.
So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case.
I do have the evidence that proves it does.
That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
Yep.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait, and the bottle that was missing, it was broken.
I got it!
There we go. Now I'm
The
getting
bottle
back up.
must have been broken,
Yep.
What makes you so sure?
Because we weighed the pieces that were
because
on
there
the
was
ground.
evidence at the scene that supports it.
Yep.
Huh?
I've been waiting to use it.
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle. And the evidence that proves that is, Kyoko and I figured it out before. Where is it? The Monokuma bottle experiment, right?
I got it!
Yes.
Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles.
Okay. Yeah, I
And what
remember
we
that.
found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
Exactly.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime.
Exactly. We just have to figure out who was the one who broke the
But
second
someone
one.
did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces.
Yeah. Because
Which is
Makoto
only
did
natural.
mention that it was.
They
that he
certainly
felt he
had
didn't pick
no
up
way
all
to
of
measure the
them
exact right number
when
of
we did the
pieces to
experiment,
remove.
If you remember that.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
To remove any evidence that they were at the rec
Because
room.
of what it would reveal about the case.
And we no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by Sakura's second attacker.
I got it! The bottle that was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
The second wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle.
Exactly.
Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
Yeah.
From there,
But
we can
luckily,
conclude that
Kyoko
it wasn't Hiro who delivered
thoroughly
that second
examined
blow.
the body, like always.
Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Yep.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
We've already pointed out
No
the
way!
evidence.
You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her!
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am.
Hiro, you're so stupid.
Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
What?
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
Please don't say something stupid.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her.
Who?
I saw Toko go into the rec room.
While you were in the rec room?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room.
Oh, I see. You were outside of the rec room, just like hanging out around a corner and spying.
I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
Toko was the one inside the locker.
And
She
you
made
just
those
now
handprints.
decided to share that with us?
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Yeah, you forgot. Sure.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
I don't think he has any screws at all.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to
She
hide.
definitely did.
Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous.
You're the one.
Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need the proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room, and I have it. She left it there for anyone to find. A new element. Ooh, a new element. Wait, this one? A new element has been added to bullet time battles. Would you like to hear more? Sure. What's going on? So far, you've probably been pressing the left mouse button during your final strike without a second thought. Yes. But from now on, you're going to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Oh no, don't put multiple truth bullets at the end of the bullet time battles. Don't do that. You have to choose the proper truth bullet to use during your coup de grace. You'll select it the same way during the non-stop battle by simply pressing the Q key or using the mouse wheel. I've been using the mouse wheel, by the way. Also, like the debate, if your logic difficulty is set to kind, you'll have fewer bullets to choose from. It is not. But for educational purposes, we're going to pretend you're set to mean regardless. Just this one, okay? Oh, by the way, you're about halfway through the game now. Go you! Well then, good luck and have fun. Yeah, that's why I was surprised that there's a tutorial right now. What? Okay, bullet time battle against Toko. Let's go.
It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse
Okay,
you.
let's go. Come on.
I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you.
Okay, final strike. What?
That's enough!
Block her handprint. Come on. Do it.
This should prove it.
Ooh, that was way too close for comfort. Wow.
Did you
Game.
know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker?
With that, I hit my the wireless plug for my headphones with my foot. Excuse me.
They must have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand,
How
shall
though?
we? That'll clear everything up, right?
Where are we pulling all these pictures from? Yeah, she's caught.
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the truth.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Gotta love her relationship with Byakuya.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Hey, her master told her to.
Then you killed Sakura!
Will you stop, Hina?
No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
I love their dynamic so
Straight
much.
up again.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room. I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on. So I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yeah, she saw that.
Yes, and I saw you write my name.
Oh, wow.
I saw you forge her dying
So,
message.
Byakuya had nothing to do with that. I'm surprised.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
Yeah, you idiot.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
For once, I agree with Byakuya.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around,
Oh.
there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me.
Oh.
I
Oh
saw
my
that
god.
blood,
That's
I
why
fainted
Genocide Jill was
right
out
there
at the
in
beginning
front of
of
the
the
magazines.
investigation last time.
I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll
I was
have to ask
wondering why
her.
Genocide Jill was out, or Jack, whatever you want to call her. Her, you mean... Oh, hello.
Haha, guess who's back?
Hi!
It was your fault after all!
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories.
Oh, they don't share memories. Interesting.
So I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... Splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise.
So you hit her with the bottle then.
I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried about you, and you're terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
Oh.
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for some woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Okay then.
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Because normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack no problem.
Oh, that is a good point.
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Probably. Yeah. She's muscular, but she's not invulnerable, you know?
Hey, come on! That's... you know...
It's true.
But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre! So that's good!
Well, I don't know if you're entirely in the clear yet. Wow, that's good. Keep talking like that and Hina's gonna...
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
Why is she so eager to vote? Huh? I thought for sure you'd have some words for Hiro on that one.
What's wrong? Come on, everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's do this.
Hina's acting suspicious. This is no longer because her friend was killed. I'm certain of that.
No, not quite yet.
I agree.
Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story?
You mean
I mean, you
Genocide
had to
Jack's
have
story?
noticed.
Odd. Huh?
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
Yeah, we still haven't solved the locked room problem.
Tell us your story one more time. Tell us what happened after you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
My god, you're so mean.
Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is... So it was strange. None of these make any sense to be what I need, so I need to copy something.
I was just sleeping peacefully. And all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
That was odd. I see what Byakuya is getting at. Sakura Sakura was in the chair when she died, supposedly. So, if she was killed in front of the magazine shelf, that's where we should have found her body. But what exactly do I have to shoot?
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
The second shot from Toka is what killed Sakura, and the problem is where did Sakura die
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front. I remember waking up.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
Now this is not the bullet I need to copy. Yeah, I killed her in front of the shelf. That's the statement that's wrong. But what do I need to shoot at with though?
I was just sleeping peace, and all of a sudden, I remember waking up right.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed.
And where did the attack take place?
Right where
Those
I
are the
woke up.
only two
I killed her
things.
there in front of the shelf.
Okay, I got it. Okay, cool. Let's go.
I was just sleeping, and all of a sudden, I remember waking up right.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
Gotta be it.
And where did
if
the
it's
attack
not
take
one
place?
of the bullets I already have.
Right where I woke up.
Because these are the only two
I
things.
killed her there in front of the shelf.
Dang it.
Shoot!
Uh-oh.
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura
I probably
was
should
right
have
there in front of
examined
me.
Kyoko's
I remember waking up
examination
right in front of the
summary, 'cause
magazine
I actually
shelf.
didn't look at that.
And you were taken by surprise, so you smashed her head in with the...
You got it! I smashed.
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
I'm gonna end up with a game over. Oh my god.
Shoot!
One more mess up and I get a
I
game
was
over.
just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of
I
me.
don't understand.
I remember waking up right in front of the magazine shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
Maybe it's this one?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
Okay, there we go.
No, it's wrong!
Oh, down to half a heart. God.
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair.
Right.
If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation
Yeah.
why she was in that
That's what
chair.
I thought, but maybe I should have reviewed the evidence a little bit more before jumping into
So,
this trial.
you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
No, it's not.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
That has to be it. The evidence that proves that there was an attack in front of the magazine shelf. You're talking about the pool of blood that we found? This?
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stained by the magazines is proof of that.
Right.
Then she must have moved the body after she killed her, right?
I don't think anybody here can move Sakura's body. That's
All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
Yeah, nobody here could.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
It hasn't.
But
No buts, Hina.
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be
Yeah, I was
explained.
wondering when we were gonna get to
Until we
that.
take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
Exactly.
oh, that part's easy.
What?
After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
That doesn't explain the locked room.
So she just hid in there till everyone showed up and opened the
Nope,
door?
we have evidence that contradicts that.
And while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
Nope,
No, I don't think that's possible.
it is not possible. There's no reason why Toko could not have been hiding in the locker is because I saw it for myself, I guess.
I got it!
So none of the other two make sense.
Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside.
Exactly. The
And
locker
at that
door
point,
was open.
the locker was already open.
Exactly.
So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Yes, I don't know why Kina would suggest that.
Okay then. Where was she hiding?
In her room.
I don't know. What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
Oh yeah, that's right. You weren't here for that.
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
Let me guess. You have some miracle evidence that you're just waiting to reveal and take the spotlight. I hope to kill your
But if
spotlight.
Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
Exactly.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Why don't you spill the beans, Byakuya, then? Could we really be missing something so important? If there's another possible explanation, maybe it's... And I cannot mess up once in this next one, because if I do, it is game over, because I only have one heart left. Monokuma file number 4, yellow powder, or Aoi's account.
What was it that
Oh wait,
killed
no, I
Ogre?
did gain some.
If
So I
it
did-
wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack,
Yeah.
then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head. So you're dead set on blaming me, huh?
I got it. I got it. Monokuma file 4 on the last thing that Hina said.
What was it that if it wasn't from Jen, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her head.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Got it. Yeah, because remember, the Monokuma file said that she.
According to the
vomited
Monokuma
blood.
file, Sakura had
Exactly.
vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact, there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was, the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood.
Exactly.
Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
Oh, okay.
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies!
No, I'm not into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
Exactly.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Good question.
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Oh, right. That's right. One of the rooms on that floor on the newest floor, always has to be part of the case. So why not the chemist lab?
Poisoned?
The chem lab.
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
Oh my god, you're so arrogant.
You're making me go all weak in the knees! She was poisoned? It isn't possible!
Why not?
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
Okay.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Please let there be a non-stop debate so that I can shoot
Everyone
something he has to
quiet!
say.
Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Okay.
Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
I don't think you could have found it even if you did go to the chem room.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
There's a big shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals.
Right.
And that's where I found this.
Right, the C9 bottle that was in the A section.
Is that the poison?
Most likely.
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle.
How can you tell? It doesn't seem to be labeled with a specific type of poison.
But the specific properties don't matter. What does
Okay.
matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C.
Right.
In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
No.
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
And you're not gonna answer it, are you? Bottle poison that Byakuya just showed us, I'm sure I know where he got it. It was on the same shelf as all the supplements, I'm positive. It was in Section A.
I got it!
I remember that.
The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
But you just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Strange, isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
What? Oh, I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle poison to his lips and...
Master!
We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do was stand there and watch. But as if it was the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was calm as ever. Did he just drink
This is
poison?
awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
The flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
High quality?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
Yoga took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched the finger to her tongue.
This is... It's protein powder.
So somebody swapped a poison bottle and protein powder bottle? What? How does that work?
Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder.
Wouldn't there be residue of the poison in the bottle still, and that drinking the protein powder would still kill you because of that?
Which makes one wonder,
I don't know.
the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder. Which would mean that conversely, the poison must have been in. Could it be? The only thing I can think of is that bottle that we found on the floor of the crime scene. We have a hangman's gambit. What? Protein drink. Protein drink. Protein. E. I need an E. Give me an E, game. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Drink. N. Okay, I need to make sure that the letters are clear of other letters.
Now I
before clicking,
understand.
because I accidentally took damage because I was clicking too fast. Whoops.
The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Right.
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched.
By who, though?
So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Yeah, she was convinced it was protein powder. She would have
crap!
taken it.
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Something at the crime scene. Protein drink.
I
We
got
just
it.
covered this.
You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
So, true cause of death was poison.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains.
Yeah, and after being hit over with 2 bottles, she probably wanted some.
So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
Maybe?
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison.
That doesn't make any sense. Like, even for her, like, drinking protein to cure a bleeding head wound, that doesn't really make any sense. sense.
And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
Who?
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
You're talking about the footprints, right? It has to be what was found in front of that shelf, the footprints. Footprints, there we go.
I got it!
All the way at the
Footprints
bottom.
left
of that list,
behind
wow.
in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point.
Right, you mentioned that before.
They must
to
have
us.
appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected.
Okay.
What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind.
Something he just said doesn't make sense. That felt...
And given how clear the prints
That felt
were,
off.
figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me.
Huh? Hina?
The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
Hina killed Sakura? What?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
We've already had somebody lie about confessing to this murder, so I just don't know what to think right now.
Ogre's killer was...
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense. But you were her best friend. That doesn't
I
make
did
any
it.
sense.
I killed Sakura.
That doesn't make any sense.
Just as I suspected.
You're wrong. Shut up, Byakuya.
The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no
There are
mistaking
multiple
it.
people here wearing sneakers, but I guess you already determined that the footprints aren't ours, so...
And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers are... The only people wearing sneakers here are the two of us, and you already determined that they aren't mine. So.
Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
Why he checked our feet. These footprints must be Makoto. Are they yours? No. Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Something's wrong
Just
though.
Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began.
I'll agree with that.
You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you?
So you think she's the blackened because she was trying to get us to vote everybody else.
This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
We still haven't used
I
all of our
can't believe
evidence
it.
yet.
What about it can't you believe?
Because we haven't used all our evidence yet.
Well, it's just... The two of them were so close.
Yeah, that too.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way.
Just because you don't like having feelings, Byakuya, doesn't mean you're right.
Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction.
Nah, your flimsy logic is making me upset.
Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us.
We
I
haven't
have to
used
say,
all
Hina,
of our evidence
coming
yet.
from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Well,
Hina, is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
yeah.
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem lab, it just occurred to me all of a sudden.
How easy it would be to poison her.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right? That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
No, that statement is bugging
And
me.
then she downed it all at once. And then
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced either.
You're not about to claim she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you?
Well, no.
You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind.
It's not what we're refuting, Byakuya.
Honeyed words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them. Not a person alive would sacrifice themselves for another. In the end, we're all in it for ourselves.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, I'll agree with that, but you're still wrong.
Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
But for what purpose? The motive was that Sakura was the spy, and Hina defended her, like, all the time. That doesn't make any sense.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism, but there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Yeah, we still haven't talked about the locked room.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
Yeah, let's figure that out first.
Hina, if you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, can you answer, Hina? I get the feeling you can.
that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
She didn't think that far.
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
I do believe that.
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
Yeah, it doesn't.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious. Too easy.
And every time something's been too easy, we've almost all died. So.
He's right.
Yeah.
It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
That was... I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
That's a lie.
You didn't notice?
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail? Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
The proper phrase is why, but whatever.
Hina, please.
It's
I'd
why,
like to know
not how,
too.
Not how come, but whatever. Semantics.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to crushing your hopes and
There's
dreams
nobody
right now,
else to
Byakuya.
suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Okay, let's go.
Well, right away I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So then I moved to Section A and got the
I
protein
don't
powder.
trust
And
this.
that's where I switched them.
You just lied. You lied. You messed up, Hina.
Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room.
I let the game explain why what she just said was wrong.
But I
If it's not
accidentally put the
obvious
bottle
to you
filled
guys
with
at home
protein
yet.
powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First you went to Section C to get the poison. Then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went from Section C to Section A.
Yes, stop repeating
Do I have
it.
that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if that's true... Isn't that a little strange?
Can you repeat that series of events one more
We're
time?
gonna do a non-stop debate
What's
right
wrong with
now.
you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
Because what she said was wrong.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
When your spirit is completely broken because you realize you were wrong, Byakuya. How long? Until we figure it out. Until I uncover the truth of this case. Make your argument. Let's go. Footprints in the powder, that's the one I need.
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Sure.
Okay, and then?
I moved from section C to section A.
I think that's
and
what I need to
that's
shoot,
where I
but-
switched the powders.
Wait, because this one's a long one.
Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in section A.
Okay, I believe
Then I
that
took
part.
the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
Just a moment longer, Byakuya, okay? Where were the footprints and what direction were they facing? Those facts certainly contradict what Hina just told us. Yep.
First, I went to section C.
Let's go.
That's when I grabbed the... And you spilled some of the powder on the... Yeah. When I grabbed the...
Okay, and then?
I moved from section C to section...
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
Footprints in the powder don't show that.
You said you went to get the poison from section C. And that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from section C to section A to get the protein.
Which is wrong.
But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from section C to section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Exactly.
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No.
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
I was just nervous, so I didn't notice I left a footprint.
What the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Byakuya's upset now.
Well...
You lied to us. Plain and simple.
Yep.
If you look at the footprints, your movements in the chem lab are obvious.
You only went to section A.
The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to section A. So you never went to section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved section A.
Well... You see...
What the? What the hell? What's going on here?
Byakuya is wrong, and I feel so triumphant.
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
What?
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
Ooh, new evidence.
New evidence? Impossible, there can't be.
Are you sure? After all, you're the one that gave it to me.
I did?
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me.
The protein powder?
I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
What?
Just say it already! What is it you think you found?
I found this.
Huh? A piece of glass. Oh
It
my
had
god.
sunk to the bottom of the bottle.
And Byakuya almost drank that.
And the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
Oh, just rubbing this Byakuya's face feels so good.
But, what is it?
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then, Makoto, why don't you explain it?
I got this.
Me?
Yes,
Fine. If you really do know, explain the meaning of that shard of glass.
gladly. Light blue glass Kyoko found in the poison bottle. I remember it now. I broke something with the same shade. It's the rec room window, remember?
I got it! It's part of the window from the rec room door, right?
The window?
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
Oh.
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
Where was the bottle poison? Where is it the bottle poison should have been when I broke the rec room? It should have been in the chem lab. According to what Hina told us, it should have been... It's one of these two. I'm not sure which one though. Section A of the
I
shelf?
got it!
Okay, good. I got
The
it.
bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina?
Exactly.
And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
It was a lie.
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked. There's no other way to explain the presence of that glass in that bottle.
And then, once the room was opened, the bottle somehow got moved back
Yeah,
to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Yeah, Kyoko and I have this tag team thing down.
Hold on, you're moving too fast.
Oh, sorry. Are we going too fast for your puny brain, Byakuya?
I'll grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked.
Uh-huh, but what's your issue?
But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked? We already know she was given the protein can with the poison inside, right?
No.
If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
We still haven't figured out that part yet, but still, you're
You're
wrong.
right. We do need to explain that. But before we do, there's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
What?
It has to do with the protein can.
Yeah?
After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way
Yeah.
to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Because we know something weird about that
Oh,
protein
come
can.
on! How can you say that?
Byakuya's so upset.
How can you know what I don't know?
The reason she can say that is because there's evidence. There's proof that someone brought the protein can to the rec room after it was opened. Yeah, there is. Make your argument. I need the protein can. The empty protein drink, to be more specific.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
So you're saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
Yeah.
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there before the rec room was on.
No.
No, that's wrong.
This trial's a fun one.
You remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
Exactly.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor after the window was broken.
Exactly.
So it had to be after we got into the room.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
Nobody touched it.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
Exactly.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it?
Well, on that front, yes, but now I'm confused as to who the culprit is.
As long as it was a locked room, it only contained the bottle of poison, and not the protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
I now have a hunch at who the culprit could be, but I'll hold off. We still haven't used up all of our evidence yet.
if that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein
No, we
can.
didn't agree on that. You just expected us to agree with you.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is
So-
there?
Oh my god, my hunch is right. She suicided?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already! Sorry. Please, tell us.
Oh my god, he said please.
Before we get to that, we need to clarify one other thing. We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
I guess somebody could have planted it, but it still seems like she drank it herself, so wouldn't this technically still be a suicide?
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
No.
What do you think, Makoto?
The one who got the poison from the chem lab and brought it to the rec room had to have been
I got it!
Sakura herself.
I think it was Sakura herself.
Wow.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
Yeah, that's exactly the way that it happened.
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying! Stop lying!
We aren't.
Why? Why would you lie like that?
We aren't lying. It's not a lie. Sakura's definitely went to Section C. Kyoka already showed me the evidence I need. Now I just have to hit Hina with it. I have to make her accept it. Oh, bullet time battle against Hina now? Yep. Here we go again.
You're a liar! What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar! Wrong! You're wrong! Wrong! You're wrong! I hate you!
Yeah, I know you can target more of the things, more than one of them at a time.
You're a
but I don't
liar!
want to.
What are you saying? Wrong! You're wrong! I'm telling you, I did it! Stop talking! You're a liar!
Thank you for
Wrong!
slowing it down.
You're wrong!
I need that.
Wrong! You're wrong!
Okay.
Do you have any kind of proof Sakura took this?
Yep, the yellow powder. It didn't give me a multiple bullet thing in that one. Interesting.
Hina, did you know that Sakura's foot had a certain yellow powder stuck to it?
It did?
Yeah, it did.
It did. The same yellow powder that had been spilled by the shelf in the chem lab.
Yeah,
That powder was yellow, wasn't it?
it was.
So the powder we found on Sakura, what else could it be but the powder from the chem lab?
Wait. So, what was that powder doing on Ogre's foot?
She probably
And it
dropped
was
it
only on her
herself.
instep, right?
Yeah.
Sakura must have been standing right there where the powder was spilled. So the person who spilled the powder by the shelf wasn't Hina, but Sakura. And
I
when
see.
Sakura dropped the bottle, she dropped it away from where she was actually
So
standing,
that she wouldn't leave any footprints, but she still got it.
which is how
on
she was able
herself.
to avoid getting it all over herself.
Oh, except for her shoe.
But the powder still got scattered around, and some of it must have wound up on her instep.
This is a very elaborate
Is there any
suicide.
problem with my thinking?
I don't think so.
But why did Sakura pay a visit to Section C in the first place? The only explanation is that she was looking for poison. After all, that's all that section contained.
No! It was me! The poison!
No, stop.
Because
Because you don't want to believe that Sakura suicided.
I killed
No,
her!
you didn't.
No, you didn't kill her.
The one that killed Sakura, the connection between Sakura and the poison, the unsolved mystery of the locked room. There's only one way to explain it. Select someone. Where is it? There it is.
Here's my answer. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself.
Yep, she committed suicide. Wow. But why?
The killer was Sakura?
Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying it was suicide?
So that means the Blackened killed themselves. So no execution?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it any more than I believe I can fly.
I can't believe it either. Or rather, I don't want to believe it.
But all the evidence.
But when you really think about it, everything matches up.
Yeah, but we still don't know her motive for it, though.
Sakura went and got the poison. She barricaded herself in a room, and she drank it. All so she could end her own life. And that explains why we couldn't solve the mystery of the locked room.
She locked the room to make sure that nobody could get in. Because, of course, Byakuya created the locked room in secret. Sakura wanted to create the locked room. Wanted to force her into the locked room.
A gun!
Hey, I'm back up to
The
full
locked
health.
room mystery was created by Sakura.
I'm sure she locked herself in so nobody could stop her from doing what she did.
Yeah.
She sat there, drank the poison, and breathed her last breath. And the empty bottle of poison rolled around the locked room until we came and opened it.
Yeah.
At that point, someone grabbed the bottle and snuck it out of the room. And that was you, wasn't it, Hina? You did it to throw off the investigation, didn't you?
Why would she do that, though?
When we found her body, you stayed right there near the door. Because you already knew Sakura was dead. And because the bottle of poison had rolled near the doorway.
That's when you picked up the bottle, right? I was too shocked to notice anything, and Kyoko was busy checking the body.
And the more I think about it, the more
It
I
is-
realize how unusual your actions were.
Yeah, it is. I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room. Yeah, under normal circumstances, she wouldn't have left the room at all.
You said you were going to go get everyone else. But your real intention was to go to the chem lab and switch out the containers, wasn't it?
Wow.
Once you were at the chem lab, you headed straight
She
to the section
tampered
where the
with the
protein
crime
powder was
scene.
kept.
Just like Byakuya did in Chihiro's thing.
There,
But
you took the powder and poured it
Byakuya's
into the
intent was a
bottle of
lot less,
poison you'd grabbed from the
malicious
rec room.
than this.
When you left the lab, all you had was the empty protein can. Thinking about it like that, the footprints make perfect sense.
When you were done, you gathered everyone together. And once you were back in the rec room,
I got everyone. Oh, I'm not gonna read this.
while everyone else was focused on Sakura, you quietly placed the can on the ground.
But why did she place it near the door? Why not place it like near? Well, I guess she couldn't now that everybody was in the room.
Honestly,
I was gonna say, why
I
didn't she put
should
it
have
next
noticed.
to Sakura's body? But,
You should have been the first one to run up to Sakura's lifeless body.
yeah,
The Hina I know never would have left her side in a situation like that.
exactly.
So, Sakura committed suicide. In order to hide this fact, Hina undertook a series of actions to undermine the investigation.
Wow.
As long as you could disguise the truth, you didn't care if we blamed you for her death.
Or anyone else for that matter.
That's why you didn't bother to get rid of such obvious evidence, right? The footprints in the powder and the bottle of poison? Vital pieces of evidence, and yet,
So you're saying Hina consciously deceived us to make it look like she killed Sakura?
And you fell for it. That's the best part of this whole thing.
No! No! No, 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 no!
Yes.
I killed her! I did it!
You're already determined that you did.
That's
So
enough,
just
Hina.
stop.
It's over.
It's not! Nothing's over!
It is! Actually, no. You're right.
You still have to do the closing argument,
We
don't
have
you?
to end this properly.
Yep. It's time for the closing argument, everybody. So I'll be back once I've actually put all this stuff together. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I put all the pieces in place and I'm pretty sure this is all correct. So let's go.
The
Reenact.
killer is you! This case began when Sakura asked a number of people to meet her in the rec room.
Yep, Hiro and Byakuya.
Specifically, those people were Hiro, Toko, and
I
Byakuya.
guess Byakuya was telling the truth that he never went to the rec room. I thought he was lying
But
about
one of
that.
them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot.
Nice, we're good so far. Wait, that's not right? What? What? How in the world is that incorrect? What did I do wrong this time? Oh. Wow, are you serious right now? Wow, I've mixed up those two panels. Are you serious right now?
The killer is you! But one of them headed out a bit earlier than the others. Toko. She got there one step ahead of everyone else and looked around for a good hiding spot.
What?
And she found it. She crawled into the locker to get out of sight.
How in the world does that panel look like somebody going into a locker? It made a lot more sense the other way around. Whatever. Did I get this right
Then,
the last
from
time?
inside
I
the
think
locker,
the last
she
try
saw
was the only
Sakura
time
enter
I
the
got
room.
the closing argument right on the first try.
Next to arrive was Hiro. When he got there, he mistakenly thought Sakura was going to try to kill him, so he panicked.
Oh, she was just talking about killing herself. What? Oh my god. Serious? What?
The killer is you!
Fine. Whatever. It's a manga-style comic,
Without
don't blame
thinking,
me.
he grabbed a nearby Monokuma bottle and attacked Sakura with it. Thinking he'd killed her, he hastily began covering up his crime. He took a magazine from the table and forged a dying message from Sakura.
I'm honestly surprised.
To that end, he wrote down a name. Toko. By writing her name, he was hoping to pin the murder on her. But of course, Toko had witnessed the whole thing. So as soon as the coast was clear, she jumped out of the locker and hid the magazine on the shelf with all the others. But in her rush, she made one little mistake.
She put the magazine back
She
upside
put
down.
the magazine back upside down.
Like an idiot.
Soon after, she watched as Sakura slowly opened her eyes. She also saw the blood dripping off Sakura's head and fainted.
Yep.
This caused her personality to switch back over to Genocide Jack. When she woke back up, her second personality also saw the blood-soaked Sakura,
Bashed her
and she
over the
freaked
head.
out.
I guess now that I think about it, since this was correct, I should have figured the
And
other
just
thing
like Hiro,
for Hiro should
she
have been
grabbed
the
another
smash of the
Monokuma bottle and attacked her. This explains why there were 2 wounds on Sakura's head. Assuming Sakura really was dead this time, she set about disposing of the evidence.
At least she did that, unlike Hiro. So where did she
She
dispose
gathered
it?
up the broken Monokuma bottle shards and the queen chess piece. And that explains how Sakura was attacked
Oh my
twice with the
God.
same type of weapon.
I just realized in chess, if a pawn gets all the way to the other end of the board, it becomes a queen. The queen one was the one that was taken and shattered and thrown away. Because, you know, Sakura was a pawn to Monokuma and all that.
But even after those 2 blows, she was still alive.
So better not be wrong.
So then, what was Sakura's actual cause of death?
Okay, we're good. I think we're good
It
from
was
here
the
on out.
poison
Better
that
be.
Sakura herself got from the chem lab. She turned the rec room into a true locked room scenario, and then drank the deadly mixture. And there, she took her final breath.
Wow.
Later on, the rest of us discovered that her body was in there. We had to smash the door's window to get inside. But someone already knew what had happened. Knew that she had committed suicide.
Nice. We're good.
And that same someone quietly snatched the bottle of poison from off the ground.
Okay, that's the last one.
And while nobody was looking, replaced it with an empty protein can. They did all this specifically to place all the suspicion on themselves, in an attempt to guide the trial to a false conclusion.
Yep.
And the one who went to all that effort
Was Hina.
was you, Hina.
Ah, I like this shot right here. That's cool looking. I have to admit. I love the visuals in this game. They're
That's
great.
the full truth of the case.
Is it the full truth though? I feel like we're missing something, like why Hina went through all this effort.
Sakura took her own life, and you claim to be the killer to hide that fact. Isn't that right?
That's what happened?
Yeah,
But, Makoto, how did you manage to...
because we're smarter than you. That's why.
How were you able to uncover the truth that even I couldn't discern?
Huh? Oh, well, I mean,
You still haven't realized? We don't all act according to calculations and cost-benefit diagrams. That's what makes us so complicated.
Oh, that burn.
That's what you don't understand. And that's why you couldn't solve this case.
Exactly.
See? Didn't I tell you? When you dismiss other people's feelings, it'll always come back to bite you in the end.
Yep. Wow, we actually shook Byakuya. Oh man, that felt good. So, how poorly did I do because I messed up on a huge chunk of this stuff? Actually, looks like I still ended up with an A. Nice, I'll take it. Only 105 medals. Yeah, I deserve that. I didn't do as well as I could.
Okay.
Ooh,
I
not from
think
concentrate.
we can all
Yes,
agree
I got
you
the not
made
from
your
concentrate
point.
Achievement. Awesome. Okay. I think we can all agree you made your point.
Did you guys forget already? You still haven't voted yet.
Yeah, Sakura's the killer, so I guess we just vote for her.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You seriously forgot? I can feel my energy draining out of me. Well, whatever. You don't really have a choice anyway. You just gotta do it.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to, but please grab your lever and cast your vote.
Yep.
So, who will be chosen as the blackened?
Person who killed themselves.
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Raikkonen does seem a little bit bored, doesn't he? Sakura. I like how her thing is grayed out because she's technically somebody who's dead. Instead of being in color like it was for the others.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The one who killed Sakura was Sakura herself. And I'm just gonna do a quick time check right now. Yeah, I think I'm going to go on ahead and end this episode here. We'll figure out the motivation for Hina doing what she did and for Sakura doing what she did. I guess, if we can even figure that out at this point, since we can't really ask her, in the next episode. So if you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. Also be sure to like my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter, as well as support my Patreon. All 3 links will be in the description below. And subscribe for more. And if you are subscribed or a new subscriber right now, be sure to hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload videos. This is Viola Rules, signing off. Talk to you later.